I stand before you today not simply as a school board member, but as a fellow servant of the people of this great state of Oklahoma. Last night, as the district prepared to vote on the interim superintendent, I shared a story with my colleagues in a packed room of citizens. I would like to open my statements with that story. Several years ago, I was charged with the duty to be the keynote and opening speaker at a women's conference in Wichita. As I prepared to leave for that assignment, I allowed myself to be distracted by a call that I stayed on over an hour. And as fellow Oklahomans, we realize that there's always construction on Cimarron Turnpike trying to get to I-35. This day was no different. By the time I reached Perry and Morrison exits, here comes the construction. What did I do? I panicked. I started looking for the detours, the exits. How can I make my time up? And I heard a voice say, stay in construction. In construction is where old things are torn down, new things are built up. In construction, you have signs, you have barriers that will safely guide you to that point that you're trying to arrive at. If you just stay in construction. If you get off and you take the exit, you take the detour, what happens is that you miss the process. Tulsa Public Schools has been a district in construction, whether we understood that or not. But on last night, 7 members with their proverbial construction hats on took on the role as strong managers of the district, managers of the trust of the people that elected us. We accepted the resignation or the separation with Superintendent Gist, and we look to the future by looking at a 24-year servant of the district, an educator, a site leader, a principal, an administrator that has remarkable reports of the bounds and the measures that she went to cause and bring about positive results in the schools she served. Prior to going into that meeting, I spent time with that proposed interim leader. And what I saw was a humble person that acknowledged the pitfalls, the construction problems, the issues. And with tears in her eyes, she made the commitment to be a catalyst for change, to be a leader, to have hard conversations, to make tough and uncomfortable decisions for the good of the order, for the good of the district and the children and parents and educators that we serve. I believe in this interim superintendent. I believe in Dr. Ebony Johnson, because Dr. Ebony Johnson grew up in Tulsa. She graduated from McLean High School. And even though she's moved up in the ranks within the district, she still maintains an active presence in her McLean Foundation, in her McLean Alumni Association, in the PTAs and other areas within the district, trying to keep her finger on the pulse of what's happening. What I came here to say to you today is that Dr. Johnson accepted a position, and these were my words to her. Accepting this position, you put a target on your back. because this district is in turmoil and in trouble. But with turmoil and trouble, what I recognize is that this district is at a place where we have hurting students, hurting parents, hurting educators, hurting administrators, people who need to be allowed to go through the process of grief and healing, that they can meet the goals that's mandated by this state board. I ask you to accept the recommendation of the accreditation division. And please know that the board is on point. The board is going to do everything to assume our rightful position, to walk in the trust that the community has given us by electing us, and to demand the results that you expect from us and our parents and children expect. I'm asking you to show grace and give us the opportunity to turn things around. We have a capable, competent, and prepared leader that has accepted that responsibility, knowing that the road is not going to be easy for her. But she has committed board members that has said, if you allow us to work with you, we will make sure the obstacles, the barriers, and everything else that would keep you from getting to Wichita have been removed. Thank you, board.
May I request, and are there other board members from TPS who are slated to speak?
No, we had one.
Just the one? Oh, there are, okay, so maybe before, I would just ask, this is so important, right?
Yes, sir.
We all agree. So
Absolutely.
if you are comfortable, if we have kind of an active discussion with both board members here today, so maybe if the other board members are allowed to speak and maybe have some back and forth between the two of you, is that something you would be accepting of?
I do want to recognize that the board president is here as well as another board member. I would be remiss as board member not to.
Thank you. And she would be welcome to speak too, as far as I'm concerned, because again, this is so important, and I think we're going to work well together today. But you're acceptable to that?
I'm acceptable.
Thank you.
I'm here.
Thank you very much. Should we allow the next?
I want to say thank you for being here, and we look forward to the mountains you're going to move over the next year in Tulsa, and we stand with you and we'll support you however we can. I'm sure you have our numbers and emails. We want to be a partner
Thank you.
and
We
supportive of
appreciate
you.
that.